Hello everybody, I'm Beth Golden. Today I wanted to make a bag for when I go to the farmer's market. I used to have a ton of these little canvas bags, not of these particular ones, but of canvas bags. And I went through a divorce and now I can't seem to locate any of them. So I contacted Artistry and said, hey, can you send me a canvas tote? Because I need one for a farmer's market. And they're like, sure. So I decided to make this. Now, this is actually a leftover copy from my classroom. And I was going to do a image on the back of it, but then I'm like, well, wait a minute. I can use some of those letters to create a word on my bag that says market, which I thought was super cool. At first, I thought I was going to do summer, but then as I was tracing it with my Sharpie marker, I'm like, well, it's not really just about summer. So I changed my mind. So anyway, the thing is, when you're doing the sublimation technique, you always want to do it in a mirrored image. I have a hard time writing backwards and doing my letters backwards, probably because when I was younger, I had dyslexia, and so I worked really hard at learning how to undo that. And so for me, this worked great. So what you want to do is you want to write your letters out the correct way in a Sharpie marker so that you can see them on the other side like I did here. Then you're going to go through and you're going to use your sublimation ink markers to color in and add the lines to the letters so that they're nice and bold. Don't worry, your Sharpie marker will not transfer. So look how pretty that looks. I did have to create the T on my own, but I think it worked out really well. Now I wanted to do a little bit something extra. I found my art foamies and I decided to pull out my paint. This is sublimation paint through Artistry, and do just some fun images along the outskirts of the bag. And then I found another little canvas bag that I had sublimated, a little coin bag, and I wanted this as well in my tote when I go to the farmer's market, because I like to keep my card and my cash in it along with like my keys. I don't like to carry a wallet. And it wasn't quite done. So you'll see what I do with that because I had an extra one of these. So anyway, I mixed some red and blue because the paint comes with red, blue, yellow, white, and black, your basic colors, and you can mix. And if it turns out too dark, it's cool. Just add in some white and it'll lighten it up. If it's a little bit too light, then go back and add in the darker of the base color. Don't worry if this looks dull, okay? It's gonna look dull at first because when it sublimates and it turns into a gas to be pushed into your 80% polyester blend or coated substrate, it will get super vibrant and pretty. And you'll see what I mean in just a second here. So I'm just taking my sponge dabber again, dabbing on this. It's a little bit of a different color. I didn't want everything to be the same because what fun would that be, right? And I'm just putting this on my copy paper. The one thing I love about this type of image transfer is if you end up hating your design, guess what? You're not married to it. You can throw it away and you don't ruin an expensive substrate. Like these canvas bags, you can buy canvas bags for anywhere between $4 and $7. And when you paint on those with acrylic paint or something and you mess it up, you're out that much money. This, I'm not. I'm out literally my copy paper, and I'm totally using leftover copies from my classroom because the only thing that's going to sublimate onto my canvas bag is whatever is with my sublimation ink and paint. So I don't have to worry about that copier stuff coming through, like the ink from the copier coming through. It's just not gonna. All right, so if you want to do this and you don't have a heat press, I'm using a heat press. I set this at 400 degrees for 90 seconds. It's cool. Use your regular iron. You're not gonna iron it though. You're gonna literally pick it up, press it down after you end up taping everything down in the spots that you want. You want to make sure that you tape around the edges. You do not want to have any of the tape over your image because the heat will not transfer through it because it's a heat resistant tape, and it will not end up transferring that particular portion of the image. If you're using a press, you only need to use a little bit of tape here and there to hold it in place. But if you are going to be using your iron, you're going to want to tape the edges down very secure, because you're going to need to pick it up and press it in again. You're going to use the highest setting for about 3 minutes each press. Make sure that you go over all of it. If you have little holes in your iron, make sure there's no water. You don't want any moisture, and you're going to want to just press that a couple times, because where that heat was not present, you will not get the image transfer. You're going to use silicone paper. I like the protected paper from Artistry. If you don't have that on hand, you can go ahead and use some parchment paper. It will work, but this really is best. I don't know what happens when parchment paper is heated up. This has been developed by chemists, so it's been proven that it's safe. So I just like this. It's silicone, real nice. You're going to put your heat transfer paper first, then you're going to lay your substrate, then your image facing down, and then finally you're going to lay the last piece of heat resistant on top of it and press it from the top down. Now, this is the little bag I had. Wasn't really in love with the bag. I thought that it needed to have a little bit something, so I decided to go ahead and add one of these feathers to it to make it kind of match, and I love how it turned out. So you can sublimate more than once on a project. And there you go. Isn't that so cute? And now I'm totally ready for the market, and I have this really fun customizable bag. Make sure you check out Artistry in my link. Use my code BetsGolden. You'll get either 10 to 15% off your order if you're interested. And then if you enjoy this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so, making sure you hit that notification bell. Until next time, I'm BetsGolden. Happy crafting.